Hello, everybody. I hope you had an amazing 4th of July week. Nice little break. Get a little refresher in after this crazy year we've had and interesting begin to the summer. So let's start off with week number 4, restaurants. We're going to look at the Northeast Michigan region and Lake Huron area, which I'm a little familiar with. My parents have a cottage just north of Alpena in Presque on Long Lake. Sorry, it's a late night. I've been going up there since I was in the 5th grade, and I'm 41 now, so many years been spent traveling up there. So I know a little bit about the coastline heading up that way. So let's check it out, see what we have for restaurants in the Northeast Michigan and Lake Huron region. I'll start us off in Alpena, which I am familiar with. We're going to swing by Austin Brothers. We're going to swing by Austin Brothers. I've been there. I know people there. I recommend the fish. The perch looks amazing, and it tastes just as delicious as it looks. They also do a very good job on their scallops that they serve there. And if you do swing by there, ask for Derek and tell him T-Vance sent you. I know him. I've known him for many years, and he works there, and he'll take care of you. While we are still in Alpena, we're going to swing on by the John A. Lau Saloon. It opened in the late 1800s, probably the oldest restaurant still operating in the Alpena area. One of the things I recommend there are the battered fish and chips. They are delicious. They make a good tartar sauce too, and they also make a variety of burgers that are just as amazing. A little history with the place. Besides that it was opened up in the late 1800s, it is supposedly haunted, and people have been known to see ghosts there. So if you're into that sort of thing, swing on by the John A. Lau Saloon, get yourself a good meal. Maybe you'll see something. On your way up to Alpena, you can drive through Standish, Michigan, and you can swing by Tony's Tacos. What do I recommend? Tacos. They make a good taco there. They also do an amazing street corn. If you have not had a street corn before, try one out. If you find yourself north of Alpena, maybe heading on the way up to the Mackinac Bridge, you can swing on through Sheboygan for some little more fine dining. Stop by Pier M33 on the Sheboygan. I recommend the steak fajita salad. Look at that. Delicious. And they also specialize in a variety of desserts, this being a carrot cheesecake. Amazing. Over in the Gladwin area, we're going to stop by the River House. And one of the things that looked delicious there was the Cheeseburger Club. So if you're not sure if you want to eat a cheeseburger or if you want to eat a club sandwich, they do you a favor and they give you both of these things in the same sandwich. A cheeseburger club. You can't go wrong. You got meat, cheese, tomato, bacon, lettuce. It looks like they have 3 slices of bread there. Looks amazing. And I'm going to try that when I swing up through there. Swing on over to Gaylord, Michigan, and we're going to check out Crave Pasta Pizza Pub. I have eaten here actually just recently this past winter. Went and visited some friends' cottage up north in the Gaylord area, and we went and got some Crave pizza. Besides trying regular old pepperoni and cheese pizza, we also tried out their brisket pizza. I do not have a picture of it here, and I did not have to take any pictures of it when I was up there, but I can definitely tell you it is delicious. Their pizzas are very good. They also specialize in desserts such as a tiramisu, which looks good. I did not try dessert when I was there, so next time I'm up in that area, I will be stopping by there to give that a try. Just north of Gaylord, you can swing on through Indian River, Michigan, and stop by Michael's Tavern and Steakhouse for a little more of a fine dining experience. What I recommend there? The Osso Buco. They also specialize in a 72-hour short rib where they marinate it for 72 hours before they prepare and serve it. If you find yourself in Mackinac City, just on one side of the Mackinac Bridge, you can swing on through Scallywags, Whitefish, and Chips. What do I recommend there? The fish. They specialize in perch, whitefish, and walleye. Look at that breading on there. Looks delicious. I'm so thankful I'm stuffed right now because all this food looks so good to me. And our last stop on our northeast hike, we're going to stop in Pellston, Michigan at the Douglas Lake Bar and Steakhouse. They specialize in steak, which looks delicious. A little asparagus, some mashed potatoes there, and the cedar planked whitefish. Cook it on a cedar plank, serve it with some potatoes, a little tomato, some more asparagus, a little fresh squeeze of lemon. So good, so good. So make your way up to the northeast part of Michigan. Check out Lake Huron. Water up there is beautiful. Some people might be covering this part too, but if you find yourself in the Alpena area, drive a little further north. If you can find Bell Bay, Besser Bell, there's an awesome spot out there. Nice little sandy spot. Water might be a little high this year though, but there's normally a nice little beach area. Really only the locals know about it, so I'm sharing a secret with you. Awesome beach area. There's some hiking trails back there as well as an old village that you'll probably learn about coming up. So swing on up there, check all those out, and enjoy.
Hi guys, it's Miss Ash here, and I am so excited to be back with you guys after our week's vacation. I hope you guys had an excellent time on your break. I did get to spend some time up north, which you guys will see in some upcoming videos. So for this week, we are talking about the northeast portion of Michigan. And as some of the other teachers went over, it included counties like Alcona, Alpena, Mount Morency, Press Eel, and quite a few others. So we're going to start with sensory-friendly options for this area. And in this area, they have the Dinosaur Gardens, which is a walk through lifelike dinosaurs, and there are exhibits and other activities that you can do, and they do special sensory friendly events throughout the year. The next one that I thought was very cool was the Zeeland East and West High Schools work together to do a dance performance throughout the year. And when they get together for this performance, they do a special sensory friendly matinee so that all members of the community can participate. So since school's not currently in session, that isn't happening right now, but you guys could check out the calendar if you plan to visit the area and see if they have an upcoming event. The last sensory-friendly one that I thought was very cool was the Rifle River State Park has a fully accessible hunting blind. And I know that many of you have family members that hunt, and I thought this was something that was very cool because that means all of our friends, including those friends who are in a wheelchair, could go hunting there. And many Michigan state parks are fully accessible through their trail systems, their rest areas, etc. Some even have the Moby pads and track chairs, which are wheelchairs that are fully accessible, and they go through the sand into the water. So normal motorized chairs aren't able to do this, but they have chairs available that allow every member of our community to participate in the park. So it's very cool. So for community connections in this area, they have RISE Center for Autism, which is an ABA therapy program. They do social skills, peer engagement, integrated outings, and community outings. They have the Aranac, I can never say that word, guys. Sorry. Opportunities Incorporated. They do job development, job supports, job site training, job retention, transit. So they do busing services. They do benefit counseling. They operate their own recycling program. They do a lot of community engagement. I unfortunately couldn't find a website for this group, so I included the email for the director if this is something you were ever in the area and wanted to check out. The last one that I thought was super cool was the Arnold Center. And the Arnold Center does quite a few things. They have services such as respite care, home chore training, transition services, and community inclusion events. But what I thought was very cool is they do a lot of vocational training, and they teach members of the community that have disabilities of varying levels how to complete jobs in the areas of recycling, farming, light manufacturing, creative arts, janitorial. Oh, I got creative arts twice. Excuse me. I'm going to fix it while we're talking. So they teach members of the community all aspects of these jobs, so they can run or they can participate in these jobs from entry level all the way to advanced skills, and they operate them right there at their facility and do community integration to build employable skills there, and it's very cool. So for this area, it is a big, big area again this week. And so there are quite a few CMHs, and they are all broken down. Some share services just because that works best for their region. So I did put links to all of them right here. And our last thing that we're going to talk about today is our therapeutic services. And one of the things I was really disappointed to find out was that there is no music therapist currently in the area, according to the Michigan Music Therapist website. So if you guys know of anyone who does music therapy in the area, please let me know, because I would love to include them in this resource. And if you guys know anyone who's going to school to be a music therapist, this might be a very cool area for them to look to get started, because currently there's no one there doing that job. And it's such an important thing. We love Miss Tomoko, and it would be amazing if everybody in our state got to experience someone like Tomoko. In the areas of equine or hippotherapy, they both have to do with horseback riding. They're just slightly different. In Iosco County, there's the Pegasus Springs Therapeutic Riding Center, and they do hippotherapy at their facility. They're not currently running anything for the current summer season, but if you're going to be up in the area, they do sometimes special events and camps and everything like that, and it's very cool. And in Otsego County, there's Liberty Valley Ranch, and they do therapeutic riding. Their website isn't currently working, but it's a recent glitch, so it should be back up and running soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this brief overview of this area. One of the things that I really noticed this week is that we are super blessed in where we live to have all the opportunities that we have, because you can see in some of these more rural areas, there just aren't as many services and programs, and that's something that we really need to work hard on. So if it's something you're passionate about and you're really excited about the area, it might be a cool place to move and help get some of these programs started, because we know how lucky we are, and we want to make sure all of our friends in the state can be as lucky as we are too. So looking ahead to next week starts on the 14th for our first day lesson post, and we are going to visit the UP. I cannot wait to see you guys in the UP, and don't forget, on the 15th, we are going to have our On the Water Day. I'm looking forward to seeing how each of us participate on the water.
Hello, Tigers. We have missed you this past week. But we are back and ready to go for week 4 in our trip around Michigan. This week we are in the northeast part of our great state, Michigan. And like usual, I will be bringing to you the attractions. Now, we cover 13 counties in this part of Michigan. So I have only chosen to do one attraction per county. Now, mind you, there are several attractions in all of these counties. I just chose ones that were wheelchair accessible. I also chose ones that were recommended or that I looked at and I thought were great for you and your families. So you may see some and you may say, oh, that's not what I would like, or I would really like that. But there are so many things to see around this part of our state. So many, of course, the lakes and then also parks and private parks. So just not these specific attractions, these just stuck out to me. So in Gladwin County, I chose an apple orchard, and it's called the Fruitful Orchard and Cider, the cider mill. And they actually opened, it changed hands in 2009, I believe. And their family is just about making memories. And so I really liked that, because I really love just making memories with my family. And I love fall. And so I always really like going to the cider mill. and finding something fun and making memories with my kids. So again, they purchased the orchard in 2009, and they just really like to make memories. And this is located in Gladwin, Michigan. And so that is the attraction I chose for Gladwin County. In Sheboygan County, I did choose two attractions here. Seashell City and Mackinac Island/City. Now, there are several attractions in Sheboygan County, but again, these two I just chose. And so because these are pretty much, Seashell City is right off of 75, and it has a huge clam, and it is definitely not a all day thing or even a half day thing, maybe even 20 minutes or so, but it's definitely someplace you might want to just visit. Mackinac City, Mackinac Island, you can click on this link and definitely find out more about the tours, about the different things on Mackinac Island and Mackinac City. So www.mackinaccity.com, that tells you everything that you need to know about the Shufflers, ferries, and all of that kind of stuff. So definitely family memories made there. So I think it's called Prestique Isle County. So Mr. Terrence told me about this, and this is called Besser Bell Nature Area. And this just looks really cool. And this actually used to be, let me think if I can remember. I might have to go to, I don't know if it's going to load because I am in the Upper Peninsula myself this week. So it used to be a logging community. And now it is on the Great Lakes shoreline, and it's a virgin forest. And so there's so much to do and so many hikes you can take, lighthouses, waterfalls, all that kind of stuff. So just go to this link that I have set out before you on our pamphlet, and you can find out more there. Alpena County, Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. This should take you to a website about it. Again, some of these, if they are government owned, and even if they're not, go to the websites before you even check it out. If you are making a day trip or something, because of COVID-19, we're not sure. Some of them are open, some of them are not, but a lot of their websites will tell you. So the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, I thought this was just really cool. And it tells you just about some ships and some just gives you some different exhibits that you can look at. And so I've never been there, but I read about it, and I thought that it was something to look at. So next time we're in the Alpena County and we stay right there, it might be something that our family goes to. The dinosaur gardens, I found it to be very interesting, and because a lot of people are into dinosaurs, I think this would be just a fun place to stop by. I don't think it's a full day trip. It may be, but it could be a half a day trip. So this just tells you that there's you can explore. There's property features such as walking tours, putt-putt golf, miners, fossil dig, frozen yogurt bar, and a dinosaur themed gift shop. So you can click on this. It tells you about their safety guidelines for COVID-19, and it just gives you the history behind it as well. You can plan parties, so all that kind of stuff. You can go to this link and and find out more about that. Otsego County, Gaylord City Elk Park. I love this place. I've only been there once in the winter time, but it was beautiful. We went when the snow was falling, and you can actually see live elk here. Again, this is not a day trip. Well, it could be, I guess, if you're going to Gaylord, but we just stopped here actually on our way through Gaylord, and you can view the elk. And there's several of them. I don't know if there's hundreds, but there's several of them. And you can just see them in their habitat, and read about them and learn about them. So it does give you some different things to do in the Gaylord area. This website does. So if you're visiting Gaylord and you want to see the elk, that is one that you can visit. Montmorency County has a Cedar Valley's Wild Frontier Fun Park. It is also a golf course, but it has a Nerf park and a paintball park to it as well, and a little amusement park. It is in Cummins, Michigan, and it's called Cedar Valley. I have never been there, but I found it as I was researching attractions. So it is carved out of the woods location, and Michigan's second largest amusement park. So the park covers 4 acres and features 18 rides. So their hours are varied because of what's happening in our world today. So just call before you go if it's something that you would like to participate in. Again, if you're in the Cummins area, that's a place to check out. Arnett County, Charity Island. I have never been here, but it is a lighthouse, and it looks beautiful. It's just what it says in its name. It is an island, and there is a lighthouse on it. You would have to travel to the island, and so it tells you the boat ride to Big Charity Island is 1 hour and 15 minutes. So you would have to, and it looks like there's picnics, and different things that a dinner cruise, a dining adventure, Lightkeeper's house rental information. So just look at Charity Island Lighthouse, and you can find more on that. Roscommon Zoo, that is just a little zoo in Roscommon, Michigan. If you love animals, that's just something fun to go to as well. That might be a half a day trip. It's not very big at all. The Wellington Farm USA, I thought this was kind of fun, because they were they are a couple, and they were very sad that they could not work anymore because they had to be on disability. And so they actually, is this the one? No, this isn't the one. So I'm telling you lies right now. The Wellington Farm USA. This talks about, or this is, this tells us about the Great Depression, and it provides an opportunity for current generations, so people like us, people like you, to experience life lived by probably your great, 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 maybe grandparents and your ancestors. So back in the 1930s. So this farm takes us back there. So pretty fun history, some things that we can learn from there as well. Let me go back to, oh, the DNR Nature's Hobby and Rescue. That's what I was going to tell you. So that was in Ogama County. So the DNR Acres Hobby and Rescue Farm, that is a very interesting place. I had never heard about it until, again, I was researching, and it was interesting to me because this couple wanted to do something, and they had been put on disability, but they loved farm animals, and so to they decided to start this farm, I guess, and rehab farm animals. Um, so they were in the business world, and so they both just are co-founders of the DNR Acres Hobby and Rescue Farm. Um, so it made them both feel that they could no longer actively contribute to the world. Until one day, talking to their eldest granddaughter about farm animals, they realized that they contribute by like they could contribute by helping out. Oh my word, they went, helping out no longer wanted, abused, and disabled animals. Um, so they started this little place, and now it's a nonprofit. And so I just think that that's pretty fun. Um, so they have events, and they have featured rescues. So that's a pretty neat story to me. I really like that. There's another lighthouse in Alcona County that you can go to. There's a nature park in Agama County, along with the DNR Acres Hobby and Rescue. Iosco County Lumberman's Monument. My brother-in-law told me about this, and so I thought that I would share this with you. If you're into lumbering or want to learn more about it, this just tells you a little bit about the Lumberman's Monument. I had no idea about it, um, but it tells you um, about what the best season is. Uh, I guess like all about like the rivers um, and how you um, cut lumber and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know because I'm not into it. So anyway, but this is a fun place that you can go to if you want to learn more about the Lumberman's Monument. So if you're in any of these areas, stop by and take a look. If you have been in any of these areas this week or this summer or this past week over 4th of July, send us your pictures and we would love, love, love to see them. I hope you all have a great and enjoyable week and had a great 4th of July. Bye, Tigers.
Honey here. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July and enjoyed your vacation. We are going to talk about the Northeast region of Michigan and Lake Huron. So in this area, you will find 13 different counties, and one Great Lake. You look into all these different 13 colonies and add up all together, there are going to be 100 different county parks, 18 different state parks, 811 lakes, and 3,327 farms. Farms is a smaller number compared to the other regions when you look at how many counties and how much land is included in this region. The wildlife that you will find is our state fish, the brook trout, the elk, Kirtland warbler, which is a bird, the walleye, which is a really good tasting fish, at least one of my favorites. Brook trout's okay, it's just not one of my favorites. And again, the white-tailed deer. Native plants you will find are the wild blue flag, the Canadian anemone, the wild geranium, sand corpus, the spotted Joe Pye weed. Crops you will find are pretty much the same as the other parts of Michigan with the hay and the corn and the wheat. What's different is you're getting into more types of beans, all except for lima, any kind of dry bean, and you're getting into farms that raise Christmas trees to sell to the markets at Christmas time. Livestock is much you see in other areas of Michigan with cattle, chickens, and horses, but here you're going to see more sheep farms, more bee colonies, and some farms that actually raise deer and some hogs. If you click on this link right here, go to my document that breaks down each individual county. But it's also going to give you this link right here, which if you click on it, you'll get to take a tour of Lake Huron all the way around it and all the different sights and things that you can see there. It's a really cool movie. And then it lists, of course, the plants and the wildlife we talked about. And then you can see it breaks down each individual county. And remember, each of these orange is a link that tells you more about the county parks or the lakes in this area. And as you look, you'll find all 13 counties there. After you get through the 13 colonies, I said colonies and that's not right, it's counties, sorry again. You will find pictures of the wildlife, you will find pictures of the native flowers, the crops, and the livestock. We'll find another bingo board that you can use to see if you can spot some of the animals and plants that you find in these counties, because there are a few of them you can find around us. But hopefully if you get a chance to go up into the northeast region, you'll be able to find and use that to either play bingo or use as a scavenger hunt or just have fun to see what you can see. On Thursday, I look forward to talking to you more about this region and writing some sentences about this area. See you on Thursday.
Hey Torn Tigers, welcome to week 4 of our In and Around Michigan adventure. Hope you had a great weekend and enjoyed 4th of July festivities. I'm still enjoying, as I've got my red, white, and blue shirt on, just because I can't get enough of that fun weekend that we had. But excited to have another week here with you, talking about Michigan's economy. This week we're talking about Northeast Michigan. We have got 13 counties, and I'll go through all of them here in a second for this week in Northeast Michigan. But as always, you can go to our In and Around Michigan transition pamphlet. You see here week 4, Northeast and Lake Huron area. On page 2, you'll find economy, and on page 3, you'll find economy continued. And you can look county by county on here and see what industries are keeping those counties going. So you got percentages on here, values, also different colors. So check that out. Here's our Northeast Michigan economy PowerPoint. We kind of split the state right down the middle here on the east side, and those are the counties that we're going to talk about. Here's a little bit better map that you can see. This is all the counties except for 2. We're also going to add in, I believe, what is Gladwin County and Aranac County. But here are 13 counties that we're talking about this week. We've got Alcony, Alpena, Aranac, Sheboygan, Crawford, Gladwin, Iosco, Montmorency, Ojimowa, Oscoda, Otsego, Prescott Isle, and Roscommon. So a lot of different counties. Here's our top industries for Northeast Michigan. Coming in first place this week is, again, human services, and we'll talk a little bit more why that is in our PowerPoint. In a tight race for second and third, we've got manufacturing and retail trades. Manufacturing ended up being number 1 in 2 out of the 13 counties this week, as the number 1 industry in those counties. Manufacturing ended up number 2 in 5 of the 13 counties, which gave it a slight bump over retail trades this week. But retail trades really made an increase this week in the northeastern counties. Retail trade being number 3, just barely number 3, was number 2 in 6 of 13 counties. So almost 50% of the counties, retail trades was the number 2 industry. So pretty big jump for retail. In 4th, we've got our food services. And in a strong 5th, we've got construction. Again, as we move further north, we're seeing more and more of the construction trades coming into play. Our honorable mention this week is waste management. Waste management, scientific services, but specifically waste management, and we'll talk a little bit about that also as we move down here. So our number 1 service, our number 1 industry, again, human services, and you can see here we've got a number of different services available. Again, we always talk about healthcare. That's a big one. Personal care. We've got the salon down here. We've got some spa services. Of course, education is in there. Different forms of education. We've got counseling services. We've got the dial 211 for Northeast Michigan. Just a hotline for any needs that you might have. We've got Northeast Michigan Home Health Care, Michigan Works of the Northeast Consortium. We've got Northeast Michigan Community Service Agency. Just a lot of outreach in the northern and northeastern Michigan area for anything you might need. So not only is it health and well-being is very important, but we've also got those human services that are care services. So if you want to get your hair done, if you want to get your nails done, you like to do those types of things, go to the spa, massages. There's a lot of that available because we're going to talk a lot more about tourism and resorts as we get into Northeast Michigan. Our second biggest industry in Northeast Michigan, again, is manufacturing. And it's a close second to retail, but again, we've got many different things that come into the manufacturing field. We'll always talk about our autos in Michigan. We've got plants that put cars completely together. We've got plants that just make certain parts for cars. So car industry is always a big one. Again, if you're into putting things together, making things, starting with a group of parts and coming together and making one item at the end. You'll be really good at manufacturing. You'll probably enjoy manufacturing. But there's also manufacturing of foods and cardboards and pallets and wood products. You can see up here we've got a sawmill, kind of wood refinishing. They use sawdust to do different things. I mean, if you can think of a product, it probably had some kind of manufacturing. So there's many different things. You can see some students here. There's even Northeast Michigan Manufacturing Day because it's so big in that area, and across the state, that they have whole days just for students to check out manufacturing and see what the possibilities could be for a job in that career someday. Next is retail trade. Again, construction is up in the northern section, so we still got our big box stores. We still got our small box stores, but the big boom is our outdoor mom and pop shops, our specialty shops. You can see a specialty woodworking shop here. We've got some other specialty shops. The outdoor market areas are really big in the Northeast Michigan area, and we've got some farmers markets here. Just many different jobs. So obviously lots of jobs in retail, stocking shelves, taking money, cleaning, lots of different things to do within the retail trade. Number 4th in Northeast Michigan is our food services. Again, the number of tourist areas and travel and vacation type areas, as we go further north, we find more of that. So obviously retail and food and things like that, food services are going to be on the increase. So not only is that just great restaurants, but we've got food banks that are helping out in the area, a lot of lakeside restaurants. We've got a food service coordinator here. We've got some students who are visiting food manufacturing, food service plant. We've got waiters, we've got table bussers, we've got dishwashers, we've got people for cleaning, janitorial type stuff. So tons and tons of jobs within the food service industry. Last on our list of biggest industries in Northeast Michigan is construction. So when you think of up north, you start thinking about log cabins and cabin building. So a lot of that going up, a lot of people buying property, second homes up there, just rentals and things like that. So a lot of things going on in construction with residential properties, but also a lot of things going on commercially too. Retail is up, tourism is up, so we've got to have more retail shops. We've got to have more points of sale. Another important thing is travel. We got to make it easier to get up there to those places. So a lot of road construction going on, a lot of roads changing from dirt roads to paved roads. So construction is huge. Plumbing, electrical, guys to frame in, machinery operators. There's just a ton of construction companies in the upper Michigan area. And you've got all these industries right here. The Industrial Arts Institute that has a number of different organizations that are trying to train and teach individuals to get into the construction trade because it's so important and we need so many people. So it's just a great field and a booming field and one of the top fields in Northeast Michigan. Our honorable mention was waste management, and the reason for that is we've got a lot of travel into these areas. We've got a lot of tourism. We've got a lot of consumption of goods going on up there. People are going up on vacation or traveling in that area. They take a lot of stuff with them. They leave a lot of waste behind. So we've got to do some things with that, like we see here. We've got trash pickup service. We've got some plants that are doing some sorting and some recycling. We've got landfills that take on trash, and we've got incinerators, places where they actually burn the trash instead of burying it. So a lot of different things going on in this area. We also have kind of, as we get to northern Michigan, we have some trash trade deals with Canada. So we're kind of taking in a lot of their trash and we have to deal with it. So it takes a lot of the management and the scientific services to figure that out. And that requires a lot of workers in this field. So that's why we see this increase in waste management and the importance of it in Northeast Michigan. So that is our touch on Northeast Michigan economy, guys. You can see a lot of the same industries dominate this area too, and we're going to continue to see that all over the state. But we will see some interesting trends as we head north, such as the waste management uptick, construction, and kind of a big jump for retail trade. So as we get a little bit further, we might see more of these trends. But excited for you guys to check out all the great things we've got for Northeast Michigan this week. Enjoy the activities. Hope you have a great week and look forward to seeing you again on Thursday, guys. So take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.